Hello, everybody. I debated on, do I say something? Do I shut my mouth? Do I, put a mask on my face and pretend that whatever has been happening in the last week and a half doesn't affect me? Then I decided, no, I am going actually to speak up. So, what I'm doing here is just sharing my own feelings, my own experiences, and I respect people's experiences and feelings, and I'm asking you to do the same. So, in the wake of the unfortunate death of George Floyd under the hands of the police, we have seen this transnational reaction and response to issues of discrimination, racism, issues of what divides us as human beings. And I've seen people say different things from different walks of life, from faith-based to political-based to individual personal beliefs to racial groups to everything. And I just wanted to come in and talk about how I feel about this as a racialized person, a person of color that is impacted by this, because it triggers a lot of feelings and a lot of thoughts and a lot of experiences of my own as well. So what I'm sharing here is, again, the disclaimer I'm making is these are my experiences, so take them for what they are. I am originally from Zimbabwe and I live in Canada right now, and I've seen people talk about the racism in the US. We don't have racism here in Canada, or we have racism, or why did Trudeau take 21 seconds to respond, or Trump is doing this. And I just want to bring this, for me it's a human problem. I think as human beings we focus too much on our differences. We focus on the things that separate us rather than things that bring us together. We focus on, you are light skin toned, you're brown skin toned, you're dark skin toned. We focus on, you're of this ethnic group and I'm of that group. We focus on first world, third world. We focus on the rich and the have not. We focus on, you are male, I'm female. There's so many things that we focus on, and we know that what we focus on expand. How about if we changed our mindsets and focused on the things that actually bring us together? The last time I checked, as human beings, whether we have different skin tones or whatnot, we all were born, and the next thing that we'll do is we will all die. So that is one of the common things that we have as human beings. We come onto this planet Earth, live our span, and then we die and we go. The second piece that brings us together is that the last I checked, we all had red and white blood cells. I didn't hear anybody with pink, yellow, whatever different blood cells, which means the components of what makes us human is the same. And the last time I checked, I realized that as human beings, we all want the same things. We want to feel the sense of belonging. We want to be loved. We want to be happy. We want peace. We want the same things. And so in my belief and limited experience of the world, having lived and grown in Africa and then living in North America now, and traveling also to different continents because my family is distributed across the globe, is that as human beings we have a lot in common. So why is it that we want to focus on the differences? Which brings me now to my own experience of living in a different continent, separate continent and country from where I was born. Believe me, I have been thanking God many times for, leading me to land in Canada, because there's many things that I have appreciated for being Canadian. And having said that, I also know that racism is something that is going to stay with us no matter what country we are in. One of the differences from my experience between racism in Canada or in the US or in Canada in the UK or other countries is that the racism in Canada is not overt, it's insidious. It's something that you won't easily notice. But I experienced it in things like this. I am a professional who has a lot of education behind me and a lot of experience and good at the things that I do. But when I have sent my CV, my resume for jobs, many times I've seen that I don't even get a response. Not because I didn't qualify, no, because I didn't have the experience, but because I have the last name that is difficult to pronounce and shows that I am not white. My last name is Muzondiwa, and for that reason, the chances of me getting a promotion at work, the chances of me advancing or getting the job that I like are limited. It's the reality of some of the discrimination and racism that we face. I also have experienced things like when at tables that I sit, sometimes when I say something, I feel there's this awkward silence where people don't know how to take it. It's a good idea, but people find it difficult to acknowledge and say, hey, that's a great idea, Cecilia. And then somebody else will say the same thing in a different time and will be like, great idea. And I'm thinking, I said this last week and nobody really acknowledged it and wanted to take it up. So those are some of the small ways. But then one of the examples too I can give you is one time I had a group. I had to do a facilitation for a big number of people, and this was a big professional group of about 100 people. And so I came into the building where we were supposed to do that conference, and I was setting up. So putting my laptop together, putting my projector and setting up for the room. And these two people walked in and they were chatting and talking, and then one of them asked me, are you the lady that's going to bring us coffee? In my normal days, I would be feisty and fight back and ask, why are you asking me that? But I didn't want to play the race card. I just wanted to, because I had learned by that time that a lot of people are ignorant, and that is what makes them react or treat others in the way they did. So I just said to myself, to the lady, yes, I will be bringing you coffee. Give me a minute. So I finished setting up, and when the time was 9 o'clock, we were starting at 9 o'clock a.m. and I said, everybody sit down, settle down. And then I introduced myself. I told them I was the manager in my job and I had these qualifications, my bachelor's degree in this, my master's degrees in this, and I have a law degree, and this is my experience. And I saw the person getting red in their face. At break time, they came and apologized. And it was a learning for me to say, sometimes we don't need to fight hard. We need just to give people a homework so that they can actually see for themselves that they were ignorant and correct that for themselves. So I'm just sharing a little bit, a tip of an iceberg of the things that I've gone through. But like I said, I want to look at humanity from a standpoint of, as human beings, we do have the potential to get better and to form a better society that is more accepting. I'm not only focusing on one side of racism, black, white, whatever. I'm looking at myself too in terms of, how do I treat other people? Do I accept differences? Do I accept people who have a different sexual orientation, for example? Do I accept people from other African countries? And for us black people, we know that we have been we have been pushed into different regions. And so there's black people from Africa, black people who are in America, the African American community, black people that are living in the Caribbean islands. So again, it's that, do I see myself as, we are one, we are all black. It doesn't matter where we come from, where we live, we are all human beings. So those are some of the things that really push me to say I need to come out and talk about these things, because until and unless we learn to accept ourselves and do things differently, we will continue to suffer through different things. Right now we have the COVID pandemic with us. This was, a pause that we were given, but to just think about life. Where are we going as a human race? What are the things that are most important to us as human beings? And we saw that no matter how much you have or you don't have, we were all impacted by this. The world came to a halt. We are grounded. And so why then do we have to focus on what makes us different, instead of focusing on the things that bring us together? So those are some of the things that I just wanted to come out and say. While the social unrest that we are seeing was sparked off by the death of a black man, I think it's a wake-up call for us to think about, where as an individual do I need to do better in being a global citizen, in being more accepting, in standing up for the truth and what is right, in denouncing what is wrong, and staying true to what the original humanity is supposed to be or was designed for. We were not designed for division. We were not designed for hatred. Those things came through greed, and they came through people who wanted to have it all so that they can exclude the rest of the people. So can we, as humanity, we have had the history of how many years we have existed as this species on this planet Earth. We should be better, not just in using technology and taking, having the better of others, taking advantage of others, manipulating them, going to take from others, colonizing them, all these other things. We should be better now at, being better human beings, more loving, showing compassion, being kind. How do I show that every day in my work with others? How do I show that in my family? How do I teach my children about the oneness of being human? I was sad to see when, watching TV where black parents in the US, they had to teach their children, you are black in this country. You have to be nice to the police if you want to survive. I don't want to have to teach my child that. I want to teach my child that they are unique, beautiful, gifted, and they have a role to play, a purpose to play in this world, and their job is to find it and live it fully. That's what I want my child to do. I don't want them to focus on they have a different skin tone. So I just wanted to come out and say that, because this bugs me, and this has bugged me for a long time when we talk about blackness, right? So, for example, people of mixed race are called black, because then the assumption is that they are not good enough to be white. Why can't they have the choice to choose, okay, I'm mixed, my mother is white, my dad is black or Indian or whatever, I choose whether I want to be Indian or black or white? Why are they all denigrated into this one big label of you're black? So we have people like Barack Obama, Trevor Noah, and other people who are mixed race. I call them mixed race because I feel that they got the best of both worlds, and it's beautiful. They have beautiful brown skin, and they are intelligent people, and so but we denigrate them. You're not good enough. You are white. So forgive me for getting emotional. I had prepared myself that I'm just gonna have a frank conversation without getting emotional, and I'm going to be fair, and I think I was fair in my sharing of emotions. I'm not blaming one side or the other. I'm saying, as a human race, let's stop these things that divide us. Let's stop being, oh, I'm a woman, you're a man, I'm gay, I'm straight, you are urban, I'm rural, you are this and that, third world, first world, black, white, Indian, whatever. We are human beings, and that is what is important. So let's take that torch of humanity, compassion, kindness, and move ahead with it, to replace the hatred, division, discrimination, and all these other things that we see. Thank you for allowing me to share. And I'm sharing this on my professional platform because there has been some remarkable silence from our professional leaders in some areas.